I'm Gentleman Josh Hill.
I'm Aaron Jeffrey.
I'm Jasudavicius.
I'm Mike Malott.
I'm Rafian Stock.
Tune in to
Donttap.
Donttap podcast.
Donttap
podcast.
John Jones.
Follow me on Twitter.
Hey, I'm UFC President Dana White, and you're in the ring with Callum McGregor.
To me, the Lions are the number one rankings out there. Those guys are the ones who really do their homework.
Man, that's why I'm saying the rankings are bullshit.
From Canada.
Got a really high fight IQ.
But this fight, I'm telling you, it's a flip of a coin.
Levels to the shit.
Fernandez, obviously people were thinking that the striking was going to be a thing, and the wrestling proved to be dominant.
Yeah, no, so I knew that she was obviously a talented striker. And so the game plan was, let's go in there and get her tired, take the steam out of her punches, take the power out of her, and then like kind of see where it goes from there. If she's easy to take down and that's the road to victory, then like go for that. And if I like started feeling it and I felt like striking was going to go well, then we were going to do that. But we were leaning obviously towards just taking her down. But yeah, so that was the plan. And she had nothing on the ground for me. But she was very explosive. So I had to be like patient. I didn't feel like I could get up and then kind of like float on top or anything. I feel like I had to like keep her down the whole time. And yeah, I executed the game plan like we planned. And yeah, that's kind of the story of the fight.
You could sort of see, like once you got on top and then it was real hip heavy pressure. She just didn't have any room, and you weren't going to give her that room. You could just sort of see it. I was like, okay, writing's on the wall. Jasmine's made up her mind. This is the play. And then the elbows start coming along.
I knew that she was going to be tough, and so I had to make sure, like, when I was on the ground, then I was working. I didn't want the ref to stand me up, so I was trying to get to the finish, but I was kind of worried. I'm coming off of a loss, so I wanted to make sure that I won that fight, and yeah, I had to stay busy, or refs are gonna call us up. I was trying to finish her in the second. I thought maybe I could finish her when I had her in crucifix, but she squirmed her way out.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. The one thing I've seen in Niagara top team, you see with you see with Aaron Jeffrey, you see with multiple different people, Tisha Guthrow, everybody, you guys all have a very opportunistic approach to fighting. Anthony Romero, same thing. So it's like when you're in a position, you're opportunistic with your striking, your elbows, you're always landing, scoring points. Whereas, if you have someone who's wrestling heavy with a dominant game plan of wrestling, if they're not active with their strikes, they're not active with their elbows, they could either be surprised in a lost decision or, like you said, be stood up, because that seems to be the play a lot. Wrestling has no respect at this point. And what do you feel about that? I think that wrestling, they need to find a way back to giving wrestling more points with the judges. How do you feel about that sort of scale away from wrestling as a value?
I don't like it. Like, I feel like they don't know how hard it is to actually take someone down. Like, they're calling it a change of position now, which is kind of crazy to me, because to actually take someone down, like, it's tough.
Hard.
So if I feel like it should be worth a bit more.
Well, the one thing that I saw with you and you did in this fight, and that a Niagara top team does as well too, and I mean, that could be cricket, that could be just the room, a combination of everything. How hard it really is. You see guys that will, and girls that will press people up against the cage, and then when they change to the other side, the person's off balance, and they don't just trip them over. They don't just constantly switch sides and get them off balance, and you guys do that so well.
Yeah, it's chain wrestling, and it's hard. It's hard to put two actions together. That's high level, is continuing to put actions together. So it's easy to be like, oh, just go hips in front, hips behind. But, in the moment, it's so much harder than it kind of seems.
You're going against Natalia Silva. I think a lot of us, like, I had you, like, heavily favored in that fight. And we just sort of got everybody dumbfounded by the footwork. And I think that trying to find her, you talk to me about it, because I'm just, like I said, I'm a couch potato. I don't know shit. I want to know what your thoughts are in that fight, and then coming out of it on a loss, and how you went in with that grit mindset. You trained your ass off, and you bounced back and took back that win. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, nothing gets the fire going under you more than a loss, and especially when, like, I thought I did everything right, and it was a tough one. But like, the Rocky movie would be boring if we won every time. So this is it's the loss is, well, like what they always say, it's a blessing in disguise, and I feel like my growth wouldn't have been as much coming into this fight if, say, I did win that last fight. So it sucked and it hurt, but it was a blessing.
You bounce back from the loss, but I watch you on Instagram. I watch even the say I'm watching Tishay's him training, and then in the background there's Jasmine fucking getting smashed in the face by somebody, smashing somebody back in the face. Then you got another training video in Niagara Top Team, and you're wrestling over here. I could just see it, the accruement of work that was building up to this fight. I really did like Courtney Casey as an opponent for you because I think that you had a distinct advantage on getting her down to the ground. She has a little bit of a name in the UFC, so I think it was a good grab for you. I hope they put that rematch up against her as well too, because I think she's there to be had for you. But just that work that you put in, how was it to be able to? Was it just easy to have that fuel every day? Was it because of the loss? Was that the biggest thing that was the grit for you, or is it the dream? Like, what gets you up every day to work your ass off?
Just wanting to be the best in the world. I started late, so I can't take days off. I don't have the opportunity to kind of take the foot off the gas pedal. Yeah.
How was it to have the whole crew down there? I saw a lot of the tape. Like, I even had T-Shay, we were going to do a podcast, and he's like, man, this is going on. I'm like, you know what, dude? Like, it's like Disneyland down there. I'm like, just enjoy it. Get in there and train, absorb. Because, I mean, for him especially, for you guys all, it's got to be great to be all down there together. What was it like to have the whole team down there this time and have that full experience?
It was amazing having the whole team down. Like, it's nice because I always have people there that, like, I know they're ultra supportive, and they're there if I need partners, like bodies. Tisha and Cody came. I trained with them when I was here, and we had like really good flow going on. So, like, having them there was amazing too.
What drives you to be the best that you are based on fear? Because you're in. I always say it's one of the most dangerous things to do next to war. You go in there, hand-to-hand combat. It is life or death. That is the ultimate risk, right? So when you go in there, what is your ultimate fear, and what do you do in preparation, mentally or physically, to avoid that?
Nothing gives you more of a rush. Nothing is as, like, pure as facing your fears and getting in the cage and fighting. Everything else in life gets the volume turned down on it after fighting. Like, once you start, like, I feel like you're hooked. I mean, that's how I feel, at least. Maybe everyone's different. And so it's like, I want to put myself into this 100% and see how far I could go. I believe I could be a world champion. Like, I love martial arts, and I think, why not put yourself in and see where it goes.
Well, I mean, that's sort of interesting that you speak about it that way. You're almost speaking about it like it's a meditative idea, because your sole focus is fighting. Your sole focus is preparing yourself to be the best version of yourself, to avoid the worst case scenario, and then not everything else gets drowned out. That sounds actually sort of nice. I think a lot of people want to drown a lot of things out. So even just quickly, the idea of training, getting into jiu-jitsu, wrestling, some of those people that are out there, even post-pandemic, that actually need something and don't know what the hell to do. Talk to them about an MMA gym and how important that could be for them.
People have to try them, and there's nothing that makes you feel better. And it's a good skill to have. It gives you inner confidence. Like, you walk in the room and you just have a sense of worth already, because if shit hits the fan, you can kind of manage your way through it, as well as just for your health. When you feel better, then, like, everything is better. Mentally, you feel better because you get that exercise out. There's so much good to it, and you get to build a community or get to meet people in a community that everyone at a gym is chill. Everyone is cool. Like, so I think that, just give it a chance. Most gyms have a 1 week trial. I know we have a free 1 week trial, and so come down to Niagara Top Team.
There you
so,
go. Plug.
That's what I'm saying. And then,
Mark Antonio's like, yes. Is that a PFL hat I see on your head there? I think it is. All right. Okay, so we'll dive right into it, man. It's been a little bit of time since you've been on the show, and will be a little bit of a different context this time, man. I'm pretty excited for you, as I know that a lot of the Canadian MMA community, and then also some of the North American community as well too. Finally, Anthony Romero gets to be on the big stage, and it's feast or famine for you, man. Like roller coaster ride. We have a dominant win over Mike Breeden. We've talked about this. Dana White Contender Series, you're sort of snubbed. You get the flying knee victory, and the MMA community and the fans are clamoring for something, and crickets. And then you go on to the PFL Contender Series, and dominant decision as well too. And it appears that it's not going to really formulate the way that you want. And all of a sudden, we hear the announcement. You get to fight, and this is a challenge. This is a huge challenge for you, and I think the skill set, the matchup is very intriguing for fans, definitely. But for you, the roller coaster. Talk about it, man.
Oh, it's amazing. Like you kind of listed everything that I've gone through over the last couple of years. And when I look back at it, it seems all worth it. Like the time and all the no's and all that stuff ended up being worth it for a moment like this. And I appreciate it so much. Yeah, unfortunately, it's another Canadian. But I'm excited. This is the opportunity that I've been waiting for a very long time. And I've been ready for this moment. I've been wanting this for a long time. So I'm excited.
And we spoke about your style in the past, and I know that a lot of people are going to, talk to you, maybe even draw some comparisons. And the idea that both you and OAM are very technical. There's no real wasted movement in what you do. On the feet, everything's very measured to either set up the next thing, whether it's on the feet or the transition to the ground. This is going to be a technical chess match. For you, this could be a very close fight. And I know the last thing that you want is to try to leave this in the judges' hands. But at the same time, you're going to have to run your game plan and do what you have to do in there. How do you see this one playing out? This is a huge test. I mean, we call OAM, he's Mr. ROI, and we call him that because he is so technically sound, similar to your style, where he'll be able to go in there and damage you and submit you on the ground and be able to knock you out on the feet. But if he doesn't need to, he'll be able to run a dominant victory and win that fight. And you're the same style as well, too. So for you, the challenges in OAM, an amazing matchup, the chess match that it'll be. What is it intriguing about this matchup to you and the challenger that is OAM?
I'm excited for this type of match. I've had a lot of guys in the past where you get these guys who are just aggressive at the beginning and die out towards the end. I'm excited because this is a fight that obviously he has a resume. He's beat the good guys. He's the champion for a reason. But I find when I see people like that, my level rises. Like the Contender Series, I had a great opponent, Mike Breeden. I rose to that occasion where a lot of people were saying he was win and all that kind of stuff, or he was a better athlete. And then also same thing with the Challenger Series. Same thing. I had another good opponent, beat the former one championship champion, had that resume and all that. Again, had another great performance. So I'm excited. Obviously, this is a step above that I've been fighting because, like I said, he is the champion. But I'm excited to prove everyone wrong. I'm excited to show that I've been here in this game for a while, and I can make a great show and show who I am. So I'm excited.
Now, you may not want to answer this next question because it may sort of show a little bit of as far as game plan, but the idea that where do you feel that you have the edge or the advantage on this gentleman? Because you guys both, like I said, the transitions, I mean, I think your wrestling is very strong, obviously, very dominant in your scrambles. Your whizzer's just dirty. When someone tries to take you down, you scramble and take them. So where you think the advantage is, or where do you think the advantage is the most against OAM?
It's going to be very interesting because we're both very good everywhere. So I think time will tell throughout the fight to see where we take the approach, because we can go back and forth with words and compare ground game and striking and all that kind of stuff. But you never really know until you're in there. even like strength in there, like who's stronger and all that kind of stuff. It makes a difference when you're actually in there. So thankfully, I have a great team behind me and help me out in every discipline. So I'm not really worried about where it goes. And I'm glad that I'm not just a straight striker where he's probably going to try to take me down or anything like that. So it's going to be an exciting fight.
Now, for you, with the will in there, with your mental preparation, we talked about this in the past too, but with that roller coaster, how do you take that story and channel that into you getting ready for this fight, the motivation for this fight, and mentally preparing for that push, even through what might be a grueling matchup?
For me, it's another fight, but I feel this whole time, I feel like I've belonged at this stage for a very long time. So I'm not too shocked about it. The whole time I've believed in it. My team has believed it, and yeah, I'm where I belong. That's what I've been saying for this whole, I guess you could say, training camp or this whole preparation for this fight. I'm where I belong, and like I said, I'm excited to prove everyone wrong, because a lot of people they talk and they're like, oh, this is the champion. They're giving this guy just a fight. But man, I've been here for a long time, and I'm not some scrub. So I'm ready, and I'm excited. So,
In the words of Chris Prickett, some people just don't know, but they will soon.
yeah.
So, pretty excited as a Canadian fan to really see you finally get your shine and get that rise and get that rub as well too. And now for you on this stage, you get the call. Tell me when you get the call, who you're with, or if you can, and the emotions that came from that, with that phone call, the matchup, the contract sign, all of it.
Well, at first, I was asked, like, how soon do you want to fight? And I was like, well, it depends what the like, is it worth it? Like, is it just another fight? Like, I want to make sure like it's a good catch. And like, well, they got a spot for a seat on the season for you. And I was like, I kind of froze. I got goosebumps. I was like, this is what I've been wanting to do for this whole time. And they didn't really have an opponent for me. I didn't really care at the time. I figured I would fight anyone once we're in the season anyway, so it didn't really matter. So he called me back. He's like, okay, we got a fight for you. We're gonna fight the former champ. And I was like, sweet, this is perfect. This is the best fight that you can give me. I get through this guy, like, I'm the champ. Right, you can call me the champ. So this is a great scenario for me. I have everything to gain in this fight, and nothing to lose. So I'm excited to perform for this fight and show PFL that they made the right choice. Right, they made it worth it. All these people said no. All these promotions said no. And to perform for them, it means the world to me that they're giving me a shot. So
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting to see you on that stage, and a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, where'd this guy come from?" And a lot of us are going to be sitting back with our arms crossed, going, "Told you."
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony's coming. So yeah, man. Like I said, I didn't want to take too much of your time today. I wanted to just talk to you briefly about how excited you were about this matchup, and I know that training camps are going crazy in Ontario right now, and actually maybe even speak to that. The energy in the rooms right now, I imagine, are crazy with UFC 289 coming up. With you now in PFL, we have Aaron Jeffrey at the Bellator level, Josh Hill, unified cards. There's a lot going on. Tisha, I know, is in there, banging heads with you a lot too. Speak about Niagara Top Team and just Ontario as a whole.
Oh, there's such a positive energy in the gym. Not that there's not. It's just like really right now the energy is so high. Everyone's preparing for big fights. The intensity's there. Everyone's pushing each other. Like, no one thinks about themselves in the gym. We're always trying to push each other, help each other out. And I love it. Every time I get in there, I'm always getting challenged. I'm not getting in there and just running through people. We got people from outside the gym coming in to help us prepare as well. Kyle Nelson is another one getting ready for the UFC. Xavier Nash, he actually just jumped on. He's been helping me out with the southpaw stuff. And yeah, like I said, everything's all positivity in the gym, high-level guys coming in, and just all hard work. So.